Hi there, this is Charlie. Today, let's go in here and look at an interesting chart I stumbled across. It's from WooBull.com. He's done a great job of putting this together. It's not mine, so I'll give him all the credit. He's taken $1 and invested it from day one when Bitcoin had its first price on October 6, 2009. And he's extrapolated it if you would have invested $1 into each asset, gold versus Bitcoin. So it's kind of interesting to see. You go up here and take a look at it, and you can see here in 10, he basically has a huge price spike up. Looks like it goes up to $1.12, basically $1.13. Of course, in the typical Bitcoin, it pulls back. And then it has another big spike up. Actually, I need to get on the right one there, so start that over again. Okay, over here. Starts out, has drawdown, has huge spike, price back up. And then it does the typical Bitcoin routine because it goes up and down, up and down, up and down, and up and down. And then clear over here by 2012, it starts to have another pullback. It looks like it peaks somewhere here in late 2011. Pulled back down. Kind of consolidated for a while, just like it's doing now. I think it's doing the same thing right now. And it's just kind of hovering around. Not doing a lot. And then come middle of, or late 2013, had another run up. Looks like $89. And then has another run up. Looks like 300, 688. And then kind of consolidated again all the way through 16. 16, it didn't do much. And then come to 18, of course, then we have the huge run up here in 18, which went up to 19,000. It doesn't really even reflect that here. It looks like 14,000. I can get it up to 16.9, roughly. And then, of course, it's come back down. It's kind of consolidated. And then over here into 20. But the interesting part is if you look at the same thing with gold, okay, gold really hadn't done much that whole time. Of course, as you're probably aware if you're watching this channel, gold is manipulated, so it may not be really truly a fair chart because the gold price is being manipulated and it's being controlled. So people aren't allowing it to run in the paper contracts to keep the price driven where they want it to be driven. So it's basically hovered around this $1.50 mark, $2 mark for the last 10 years, 11 years. So it goes up and down a little, but it's not really doing anything at all. So it's kind of an interesting way to look at it because the people that are just true gold bugs, they don't want to hear anything about Bitcoin. And I was kind of one of those guys years ago because I was kind of convinced that gold was better and it's a real asset. You can actually hold it, but it's, in my opinion, not near as good as Bitcoin because at least Bitcoin's digital and you can transmit it over a communications channel so you can actually use it for some purposes, whereas gold, basically, it's got to sit. It's got to sit somewhere. It's got to sit in a vault. Then you got to pay storage fees on it. It's hard to move. Then once you get it back, then you got to have somebody re-assay it to make sure it's really the gold you say it is. It's not near as good of an asset, in my opinion, anymore, but anyway, down here to the breakdown, if you would have bought Bitcoin 1 year ago and you would have paid $12.50 for it, you would have bought gold for $13.88. Bitcoin today would be worth 0.73 and gold would be worth 1.31. 2 years ago, 66, 1263, so Bitcoin actually pretty much even there. And here we go. 3 years ago, 2506, 1220, Bitcoin's up roughly 3 to 1. Bitcoin 4 years ago, and this is my point, 651, 1356. generally the rule of thumb in the Bitcoin community is if you hold Bitcoin for at least 4 years, you have done quite well with your investment, because look at these numbers. Bitcoin's 14.5 or 14.16 and gold's $1.34. Substantially better. Okay, now if you would have held it 1 year longer, Bitcoin 5 years ago, 269.7, 1162. So again, substantially better. 6 years ago, 621.9 versus 1323, and Bitcoin's 1484 versus gold 137. And that just goes all the way down. And then if you go clear down here to buy 10 years ago, 0.006250 to 1196. 1.477040 versus gold at $1.42, $1.52. But that kind of brings me back to my point. If you're hodling, you're going to be fine. If you're trying to trade this stuff, good luck with that. The rule of thumb here is if you're trying to trade this stuff, you're probably not going to do all that great. Because what's the rule? The rule of thumb here is that 10% of the people that trade make money and 90% lose. So if you're trying to trade this stuff and you're not a trained professional, you don't know what you're doing, good luck with that. Plus you get to pay all your taxes on all this stuff. And for those guys out there that aren't paying the taxes, sorry, I don't think that's wise. I think there's going to be some officers coming to look you up. But anyway, for today, that was a quick chart I found. I think it's kind of interesting to see the extrapolations here that Woobol did, and did a great job of comparing the two assets. And I think this is the digital commodity we're moving into. If you haven't already subscribed to the channel, hit the subscribe button down here in the lower right-hand corner. If you're wanting to learn more about how to get into cryptocurrencies and you want to learn how to do it, I'll give you some free emails daily. Click the subscribe button below this video and I'll help you get started. And if you got any comments of videos you'd like to see, drop me a comment below and leave me a comment on videos you'd like to see in the future. Appreciate it. Have a good one.